Hello, everyone watching us today. I am just so grateful to bring you another Bahama Brass Band podcast. Um, I am Bishop Barry B. Morris. I'm the director of the Bahama Brass Band, Grand Bahama. And today in the studio, I am so honored to have the longest serving band director in the Bahama Brass Band, a director extraordinaire whose shoulders I stand upon, an extraordinary musician, an extraordinary conductor, unmatched. No one could do it quite the way this man does it. And I'm talking about the master, Elder Winston Capron. Brother Capron, good to have you today. Glad to be in your company, sir.
Thank you very much, Bishop Morris.
Yes. And today, I just want you to introduce yourself to, of course, I already gave them your name, but tell us a little bit of yourself. Where were you born? Tell us a little bit about your history, your birthplace. Share that with us, please.
I was born on the island of Providenciales in the Turks and Caicos, in the settlement called Blue Hills. Went to the old age school, and during my time at school, I used to really actually work on the farm with my father. Those days was fishing and farming, but I didn't like the farm. So as a young boy, probably from 14 or so, 15, I would go in the boat with my grandfather to get crawfish.
Okay.
In those days, catching crawfish was a major money-making, billions of dollars. They would have the big ship in the middle of the bank, and the little boats could go out as far as they could go from early in the morning, and then around about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they start gathering the guns into the big mothership.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody would record how much crawfish they catch for the day. And that would be for 5 days at least. For 5 days they would do that. And they would record how much crawfish they caught for that day. And of course, when they collected, they keep a record of every person, every boat, and how much crawfish they were collected. And it will go into the factory in South Caicos, and after that, it'll be a major shipment to the United States, and wherever they would ship it, wherever they were transported.
Okay. That's amazing. So, Brother Capron, when did you travel? Let's talk about your transition from the Turks and Caicos to the Bahamas. I know in those days, most of the persons who was on that transition, most of them came to Grand Bahama and Pine Ridge, Abaco. Was that the same for you?
No, I went there years after. When I left school, I went to Nassau. I moved to Nassau for many years, and then I moved to Grand Bahama in 1962.
Okay.
Of course, in 1961, I was in Abaco for 6 months or so, like I said earlier. Then I went back to Nassau for a couple of months, and then I came to Grand Bahama.
So when you came to Grand Bahama, you're a masterful musician. What actually provoked your interest in music?
Actually, I was a dancing man. I would go to the club, put my threepence or sixpence or whatever in the jukebox, and once that jukebox come on, I'm on the floor. I heard about God, but we have no relationship.
Mm-hmm.
We have no relationship. And I love to dance. Never smoke, never drink, shy of girls. For that, they was calling my name. I won't go no further. Shy of girls. And there's one lady, I was concerned with dancing, and so is she. I don't think she ever asked me my name. I never asked her name. I never asked her where she lived. But when we would meet on the dance floor, that's what we wanted. When we meet together, she could have got it out of me, and I could have got it out of her. So we become close. We never know, after the dance floor, we never had a conversation. Never. It's just that when we meet on the dance floor, we dance life away, dance the night away. This particular night, Friday night, I left the club in COGOP called Big Jones Club. I left it that night about 12:30 to go home. Can't wait to go back Saturday night. So, 2:00 in the morning, God said, I see you love to dance. So I'm going to tell us, God, I see you love to dance, but that's the last time you can dance over there. And God saved me waiting in my bed. Waiting in my bed. When I get up, the next day was a new world. Trees, green, everything looked new. I said, look what God could do, eh? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like he cut that off like chopping somebody knock off. What? The next day, what I had a passion for, the passion shift on the other side. But one thing you never stop. I never stop dancing. I just got a new partner.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Positive on the gospel side. Hallelujah. And then I never knew a note before that. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks after that, I feel this heavy urge for instrument. Heavy urge. And that was the call. So I went to a gentleman, Lionel Douglas, and COGOP had a trumpet. He used to call it saxophone. He didn't know what to do. So I got a saxophone on my own. When I got a saxophone, it's a trumpet. So I bought a trumpet from him, and I went to Marvin and Field. He opened this class. And he taught me. Now, someone said they were not sure Marvin could have read music, but I'll tell you, Marvin could have read better than every one of those persons we talk about. Marvin was top. Well, if there's anybody who would have followed him, it would have been Jenkins. Mm-hmm. But most of the others, I mean, if you want to take history, most of the others play by ear. I'd say 85% persons who play in the band, it's by ear, and Bishop Swan is the baritone as well. But because, and I could tell you, because when they came to Brother Murphy, I had to help some of them with the music. Mm-hmm. And then later on, I had to help them because Murphy taught me. And he knows well because he taught me well, and then I didn't stay there. I continued. I bought books and I studied the music deeper. And that is how I come into music. It was a call, and it was a gift from God. And if as you said a while ago, that didn't happen on my own. It wasn't me, it was God. God gave the gift. And whatever you see me do, however I act, is because of the Holy Ghost, is because of what God directed me to do.
So what year did you come to Grand Bahama?
1962.
1962?
I got saved the same year.
Okay. So what year, when did you connect with Brother Murphy?
July in the year of July, that's the same month, see, I get saved. That's July, I get saved in July.
Mm-hmm.
And sometime, somewhere in the center of July, but July 15 around there.
Okay.
And about 2 weeks after that.
Mm-hmm.
But after I feel the urge, I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know what it meant.
Mm-hmm.
But the Lord called me so he wouldn't leave me ignorant.
All right.
He cleared up to me what it is, and he sent me where I must go.
Oh, so shortly thereafter, after you learn how to play, then you joined the Grand Bahama Brass Band at the time. Okay.
At that time, it didn't have a name.
Right.
We just named it later. When the band advanced, we give it a name.
Okay, wonderful. And so when you joined the band, what instrument were you playing at the time?
Trumpet.
You playing trumpet? Okay, that's good.
Trumpet for 10 years. As a matter of fact, Moev is the biggest teacher. He taught a lot, and he only could play trumpet, so everybody else played trumpet.
Mm-hmm. So basically, you had a big trumpet band.
It was a trumpet band.
Okay, all right. So your ascent to the leadership position in the band as assistant director came about in
1969.
1969. You became the assistant band director. What was the condition of the band at that time in terms of its playing ability, its complement of parts, and that kind of thing?
Well, there was only a few. Like the problem was there's only a few people who was playing music. I mean, play by music, and the rest of them by ear. So you would have to explain how to play it and what the notes mean and what you must do at a certain point. Actually, how much notes in the bar, what's the value of the notes, and how long you should stay in that bar, and how to observe the signs and
Correct.
the 4 beats, the 2 beats, whatever be the 16 notes, 1/8 note, timing, because if you don't read music, you can't have timing.
Mm-hmm.
So timing was one of the problems until we have to get them leveled up much better after explaining those things to them. And later on, though, once they understand, they did better. And it was a time where, because they wasn't sure what they were sure, they would like delay and didn't attack the note.
Mm-hmm.
And so you would have to help them with that.
Okay.
But God help us later.
Yes, sir.
And all of that, God still have a plan. God still had a plan.
So after a few years of serving as assistant band director, you became the substantive director of the Grand Bahama segment.
Yes.
That was in what year?
1975.
Okay, good. Let's backpedal for a bit, though. Or should we? Before you became the band director, there was something special that happened with you in terms of keeping the band going. You had, I think you shared with me a few times where the Lord gave you a plan to keep the Bahama Brass Band growing. So we'll have a future. Could you share that with me, please?
During my time, it's just, the Lord spoke to me. He knows the future. And he knows, I've become to understand God is always ahead of us. I understand his move and why he called me in my bed, but twice a month, like you speaking to me. Start a youth band to, that we'll have members for the youth band to support the senior band. And I had that dream like for months. And as Deacon Capron, at that time, the band director, I didn't just get up and do it. I went to have a conversation with him. And he didn't say nay or yay. So I left it as that. And God still speaking to me. He spoke to me continuously. Going back the second time, nothing happened. God keeps talking to me. I went back the third time. And he said, well, the Lord is speaking to you. Well, he said, the Lord is speaking to you. Not going to do it. You got to do what you got to do. And to be truthful, what he said after that, I don't know, because when he said, go ahead and do what you got to do, I gone. And I started the youth band with a writing pad and a pencil. And today you see the results of that youth band at the start with a pencil and paper. And if you look at the senior band, we only got a few, but 4 of us now. If it's 4 alive. But if everybody come to the high school today, you have a huge band. So now you see what God did. But he asked me to do it for him. So you see what God was talking about.
Yes. So that band serves
That
to
band,
continually
that
feed.
band today, what you got in Grand Bahama now, hallelujah, come from that.
Yes.
Including about 3 or 4 senior man. I think if you go to count them, I think you probably go to count 3 now.
That was a part of your original
The
youth
original
band.
band.
Yes.
No, not youth, the original senior band from Buddy Murphy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go back there, you only got like Buddy Murphy, Kenny, but the Tattoo Just Lie, and but Roy Living, but he's not playing. I can't remember no more. So you see the plan of God.
Yes.
He knew so people was going to die, people was going to pick the island, and you got to carry on. You know,
And so the reality is that the Bahama Brass Band continues to live on because of the feeder system that that the Lord rests upon your heart to start. And so that's an important thing because it is intended that the work of the Lord continues to go on. And so the Lord used you in that particular way. Folks, we have Master Winston Capron in studio with us today, and we're going over the history of the Grand Bahama segment of the Bahama Brass Band. We're celebrating 70 years this year, and it's important for us to etch in history the wonderful things that God has been doing in our midst. So I want you to enjoy a little bit of music. We have an advertisement we want to share with you. So stay tuned. We'll be back to talk a little bit more with Elder Capron concerning his ministry in the Bahama Brass Band.
Grand Bahama, get ready to march with a shout. The Bahama Brass Band presents a musical event like no other with a Shout Wheel March, a historic celebration of 170 years of passion, purpose, and powerful praise. 100 years in Nassau, 70 years Grand Bahama, featuring a rare and electrifying performance by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Force Band, all-female contingent, bold, brilliant, and unforgettable, at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom at 7 p.m. Saturday, September 13th, 2025. Tickets are $20 in advance and $25 at the door. Seating is limited and this will sell out. Tickets are available at 17 Shop and Frank's Ice Cream downtown Freeport. A night of rhythm, reverence, and revival. Don't miss it. Let the drums roll, let the horns soar, and the spirit move. This is more than a concert. It's a call to celebration.
Yes, welcome back to this podcast today. We want to just encourage you, as the commercial told you, it is going to happen in Grand Bahama on the 13th of September. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Force Band. And listen, they're bringing their female edition of the band. And so this is going to be really, really beautiful because here you have the Bahama Brass Band, that's all male. And you're going to have the Trinidad and Tobago Police Force Band that is going to be all female. And they already sent out a warning that they're going to show us what women can do with music. I tell them, don't toy with that. You know, they only see Rhodey. We got pea soup and dough and all kind of other things we can throw at you. And so this is going to be a wonderful evening that you do not want to miss. You can get your tickets at 17 store, clothing store. Frank's Ice Cream. You can get your tickets from there, or you can see any one of the band men. 727-9400 is my cell number. If you need tickets, I can direct you on who to go to get your tickets and be a part of this event. We only have seats for 1,000 people. So, and we already almost sold out of those. So we want you to come and be a part of that. But today in studio, we have the professor, Master Winston Capron, who was the longest serving director in the history,
Bahamas.
yes, of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas for the Bahama Brass Band. He's shouting out Bahamas. He wants you to know the Bahamas.
I was told that.
And that is the truth. And anybody can tell you that. That's the truth. And so, Brother Capron, we're going to talk about you when you became the band director, when your name was called, and you were chosen, selected to be band director. Tell me how that made you feel.
Well, it made me feel like I was obeying God. Because I obeyed God, and because I've done that, I feel happy to know, okay, I reached this far. The Lord has rewarded me for what I have done, and I've done a little, so He gave me more.
A little more pressure, yeah.
Yeah, He saw, my mind and my heart. I was obedient to Him and willing to work. And He said, okay, I bring you higher.
Mm-hmm.
I brought you higher. And I was willing to work. I was willing to work. No, my intention was not to even deal with senior band. My interest was deal with a youth band. However, the Lord must have His way. The Lord will take His work step by step, and that's the way that happened.
Okay. When you became the band director, each leader, every leader is possessed with a vision. When you begin to consider what it is you have to work with, what vision would you say the Lord gave you to further the ministry of the Bahama Brass Band, Grand Bahama?
Mr. Barry, it's like preaching the Word. You read the Word, the Holy Ghost give you, the Holy Ghost will help you preach the Word, expound the Word, that those are listening will accept the Word as you preach. God send you as a messenger. So it's the same thing with the band. Melody is better when you get together, just like the praise team. They'll sing to melt the hearts, to prepare the hearts of the people to accept the word. What we had in the band that time, no melody. No melody. So how, again, the Lord spoke to me and I worked. We had, like I said, we had all trumpets. I went to school, paid money, went to school to learn the saxophone. I went to school to learn the clarinet. And I teach those instruments freely at my home, by my own chords. And everywhere I went, it was everything, I did everything free, never charged for anything. And when that happened, melody came into the band, and the band became something to listen to, something to be proud of. Because we didn't have it before with just trumpets.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have the 4 parts. I purchased 80% of the instruments for the band, and I taught all of the instruments except the sousaphone. And then the band, when we performed, it was something to listen to,
Mm-hmm.
and people was blessed from our playing. One time, I was told that we had a concert at the Camelot Room at the Princess Hotel. And when it was over, the gentleman said, "My God, your band can play. Your band sounds so good. I mean, He said, if you all was playing calypso, it wouldn't be no more calypso band around here. I said, sir, if he was be playing calypso,
Wouldn't be no band around here.
They pay everybody. And I was going to want more. Next person was going to want more. The assistant,
Mash up
going to want more.
the whole thing.
You would have the band would have been finished in 6 months. So you got a wrong idea. Do it the God way. And look, watch God. Watch God way. The portion of the band in Nassau started in 1925 and still going on. And nobody getting paid yet. I mean, sometimes they help us on our trips, the rooms, transportation, food, and stuff like that. But that's a normal thing to do. You got to eat, you got to wear clothes, and you got to get on a plane to travel, and you can't go free. But nobody gets paid for what they're doing. You can't afford to pay that.
Isn't that amazing? After all these years.
You can imagine, so you know the whole work, the whole foundation, the creation of the band in Grand Bahama, the segment, is based on the same as an Nassau. Start with the same amount of men. And look where God's taken us. And we just got a place to go.
Yes, sir. And so when you became the band, as you went through the years, I'll talk about some of it. When I was growing up and started playing with the band, I know there was a trip that you led to Turks and Caicos before, but I know in 1986, I was 15 years old, and we went to Turks and Caicos on 5-seaters, 3 hours in the air, to get to
Grand Turk.
Grand Turk. I think we went to Provo first. We did a concert in Provo first.
Not the first trip.
No, not the first trip. Not the first trip. That's when y'all went on the DC3 and flew on crates and all that kind of thing. Tell us a little bit about that. But I know from my experience when we went, and it was magnificent on how the people responded to the band, the way you directed. I mean, it's almost like sometimes you'll be doing ballet, you'll be on your toes, and you know you had a way of pulling out of us what you wanted to hear, what you thought the band should sound like. What caused that to happen with you? Is that because you really wanted to hear something, or was it sudden inspiration, the Lord dealing with you on the spot? How was that happening for you?
It's just like, again, we go back to the preacher going around the world doing revival. God have a plan. You want your revival, when you preach, you want your revival to be successful. You know, these words just coming as you ask. I even wasn't thinking, but the words just come as you ask, because God is in it. You want your revival to be successful. When you preach, the Lord will work with you. It'll be a Holy Ghost thing. You know, and people will get saved. They'll be interested in what you're doing. I think that's so. The Lord would put us in you. The Lord would make the band successful. I know one time we've been in those places in the world we travel with Bishop Barrett. You would know some of this yourself. When we return back home, they call us back and say, "Man, we got a band start." Say, listen, you say that you all cost us, you all motivated so much, we want band. And I wouldn't call it a particular country, but they started this big old band, and probably last a year or two, and that was it. I mean, I don't know what foundation to start on, what was the reason, but thank God we motivated them enough. And just like how we motivated them enough to start doing band, we motivate souls to Christ. That's the message. So every time I would go in the front of a band, I said, "Lord, help me." And what you see is God.
And that was going to be my next question to you. You led right into it. The importance of prayer, because a lot of people when they see a band, and this is what makes the Bahama Brass Band so unique, in that we are entrenched in the gospel in terms of playing gospel music. And so when we play music, it's not so much just, even though we enjoy it, it's not so much a happy-go-lucky, we come to have fun kind of thing, but as the leader, you're there praying for God to use you, for God to help you to call the right songs, prepare this band properly, and then it comes to the point of execution now, where you're at the point where you're there, you're on stage, the band is getting ready to play, and you so want to be used by the Lord. That's a different kind of thing from any regular band who just rehearses some songs to play. An orchestra that comes together and plays skillfully and beautifully. The thing that we want God to be in the midst of our music, eh? And so I would watch as you would conduct, and I can call out so many times, whether it be at General Assemblies. Coming to my mind right now is one time we were in the Virgin Islands and we were downtown St. Thomas, and you were directing the band. And I mean, we downtown out in the open, and the presence of the Lord just swept over that band, and you saw people shouting in the streets and hearts being melted before the Lord. That is a priceless thing. You know, that's something that is beautiful, and I hear you reverberating that, coming to that over and over again. And so, when you would select a song, is it that would cause you select the songs that you would select?
Well, there were times when I've been encouraged to, there were times when I select a song, pray about it, and the song to fit the occasion. And, well, I mean, I've been encouraged by persons, okay, that was a good song to fit the occasion. You know, your songs, your numbers was well chosen, and did well. And when you do that, you satisfy the bandmen. You make them relax and they're happy. They want to do it. They're playing with all they got. Sometimes when you don't do that, they play because they tell them play. They're being obedient, but then inside, my way you play that. Why you playing that old song? Something came to my mind, but in that area, but I wouldn't say it. But you know, you do your best. You ask God to bless everything you do. It's a band's ministry. So you cannot go there and just say, band just play, you know. Just God get the glory out of what you're doing. When you finish, you feel good and everybody's happy. You know. I remember in 1973 when we played for Independence. God was with us and that band plays. We was back to back, side and side with the police band, Bahama Brass Band, or Bahamas band at the time. And when it was all over, Mother would say, my. So if this thing was a race, I wouldn't want to be the one to call the winner. And said, thank God it ain't a race. See, I wouldn't be the one to call the winner. Somebody said, well, if you have to call the winner, what would it be? He said, well, you know, you can't go against the government. So we tickle them for them to say something like that. There has to be a reason why they said what they said. And the Bahama Brass Band was always a mark. No band played like the Bahama Brass Band. People try. The style don't last, and if the band lasts, if the band had to last, and if the band lasts, the style can't last. You always know the difference.
I want to pay you some compliments. You were able to execute, of course, some international trips into Turks and Caicos, and all of those were a tremendous blessing. At one year, I went on trumpet, and the next time I went on sousaphone, playing. you are a class act conductor. I don't think there's anyone who is able to match your style, the way you get before that band and do what you do. Amazing. Another compliment. Your trombone playing. The way you masterfully played. Growing up, I would always listen. You had the greats like the Neville Deans, the Leon Williams, the Leon Campbells, yourself, who were for years, you were the four trombone players for Grand Bahama. And all of you had your unique style. All of you had your unique style. But the Dean was mind blowing.
Birthday,
But go ahead.
Pastor Dan, we was like sit together. He pull it out of me. I put it out of him.
And I thank you for saying that.
I ain't gonna let you beat me. And this is how. And Nassau is always give me the praise. Give us Neville Dean and Winston Capron. These are good trombonists.
Yes, you guys were amazing. Sometimes I remember conventions when you would come marching up through Pinedale. The band had a real swag. You'd see those trombones swinging from left to right, along with the bass horn. It was just, it was a sight to behold, to watch you brethren operate. And then with the Capron, the concerts, you started moving concerts out of the Pinedale area.
Yeah.
You started going into hotels and drawing the community to concerts. Then you started the philanthropy, where you would go and raise funds for associations that needed funding. And then you would play to places like the dedication of the National Insurance Building. You had us playing to college graduations and all this kind of thing. Those things were not the regular Bahama Brass Band kind of, outlets. Normally it's just a church service or something like that, or we doing a parade, Independence Day parade or something like that. But you turned the corner and you allowed us to be exposed to various different types of environments to express the gift that God has given us. And I want to thank you and commend you for allowing yourself to be aggressive and reach out to make those things happen. Sometimes people think that those things just a walk in the park, it's automatic. But that comes from a director, a leader that's thinking, that has vision, that has passion, that wants to go after something. You believe in your product and you want your product to impact a greater audience. And so I want to thank you for being that kind of director that would allow yourself to stretch beyond the comfort zones that we would have been accustomed to, and to allow the band to be exposed the way you did under your leadership. You are to be commended. There's nothing, we could buy you plaques, we could give you trophies, we could give you money, we could do a whole lot of things, but no matter what we do, will never be enough thanks for all of the work that you put in the Bahama Brass Band, in leadership, before leadership, and after leadership. And I just want to say, as the presiding director this time, that I truly appreciate your labor of love toward this institution. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
God bless you. God bless you.
Grand Bahama, get ready to march with a shout. The Bahama Brass Band presents a musical event like no other with a Shout Wheel March, a historic celebration of 170 years of passion, purpose, and powerful praise. 100 years in Nassau, 70 years Grand Bahama, featuring a rare and electrifying performance by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Force Band, all-female contingent, bold, brilliant, and unforgettable, at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom at 7 p.m. Saturday, September 13th, 2025. Tickets are $20 in advance and $25 at the door. Seating is limited and this will sell out.
Tickets are available at 17 Shop and Frank's Ice Cream downtown Freeport.
A night of rhythm, reverence, and revival. Don't miss it. Let the drums roll, let the horns soar, and the spirit move. This is more than a concert. It's a call to celebration.